When you look into the mirror, what do you see? I know when I look in the mirror, I look and I see someone who has, for some unknown reason, gray hair, who has wrinkles that start from the eyes and now are starting to go back toward my ears. And I wonder, how could this possibly be happening? And then I remember when I used to look in the mirror, just like this child. And I used to say, I wonder what I'm going to look like when I get older. Am I going to look like my grandmother? Am I going to look like my grandfather? Am I going to look like my mom? Am I going to look like my dad? And what I look at, and when I look in that mirror today, is I say, I look like all of them. Somehow I look like all of them, and somehow the image of them took root in my own life, in my own personality, in many different ways. Think about yourself. And in the gospel today, Jesus is tested by the Pharisees and the Herodians, and they're asking him exactly what is the image, what do I need to do to be a follower of the Lord? Do I need to pay taxes to Caesar? Do I need to pay taxes to the Lord? Do I need to pay taxes to Rome? Where is my allegiance? And Jesus looks at him and he says, and replies, that he really wants them to look into the mirror and see who they are. Who are they when they put their work face on? When they walk into work, what are they like? What is the image that is projected? Are they knowledgeable? Are they competent? Do they treat their employees well? Exactly with their work face, what are they like? When they're partying, what's their party face like? They're jovial, welcoming. What does that face look like? When they walk into church or into the temple, what does their face look like? Is it reverent? Is it prayerful? And when they're home, when they're out of the public eye, what does their face look like? And Jesus reminds them that somehow we all have a tendency to put on a different image when we're at work, a different image when we're at a party, a different image when we're in church, and a different image when we're at home. The Pharisees did it, and so do we, don't we? We always have a different image. And what Jesus reminds the disciples today, and he asks them to look at that coin, whose image is on that coin? And so he says, look at that image, and then what you owe that person, give to them. But whose image are you created in? You remember the book of Genesis? What did it say? We are created in the image and likeness of God. And so, when we look at ourselves in the mirror, who do we see looking back? Do we see our work image? Do we see our party image? Do we see our church image? Do we see our family image? Or do we see the image of God reflected back in us? The patience, the love, the kindness, the compassion, the integrity of life. Do we see that image? Because Jesus says, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Fine. We do that all the time. We pay our taxes. Most of us do, I think. But if we're to give God back what is God's, and we are created in the image and likeness of God, that means that we belong totally to who? God. We belong totally to God 100%. And if we're going to give back to God what belongs to God, then we need to give back to God our work face, our party face, our prayer face, our church face, and our family face. And somehow what needs to be reflected in everyone's eyes, anyone who sees us, is the image and likeness of the God to whom we all belong. God bless you.